everyone, welcome back to Drawing Hub. So this is Computer Network Series, Module 1, Part 3. So in this video, we're going to discuss about the uses of computer networks, home application. Internet access provide home users with connectivity to remote computers. As with companies, home users can access information, communicate with other people, and buy products and services with e-commerce. So that is our first point. Internet access provides home users with connectivity to remote computers. As with companies, home users can access information, communicate with other people, and buy products and services with e-commerce. The main benefit now comes from connecting outside of the. That is the first. Access to remote information comes in many forms. It can be surfing the World Wide Web for information or just for fun. Information available includes the arts, business, cooking, government, health, history, hobbies, recreation, science, sports, travel, and many others. Fun comes in too many ways to mention, plus some way that are best but are left unmentioned. So this is about information. So access to remote information, it can be surfing the world wide web for just for information. It can be either for just for information or maybe for fun. Now, many newspapers have gone online and can be personalized. For example, it is sometimes possible to tell a newspaper that you want everything about corrupt politicians, big fires, scandals involving celebrities and everything. So there is different things. Okay. Now, the next step beyond newspaper, the plus magazines and scientific journals, is the online digital library. Many professional organizations such as the ACM and the IEEE Computer Society already have all their journals and conference proceedings online. Electronic book readers and online library may make printed books obsolete. Skeptics should take note of the effect the printing press had on the medieval illuminated manuscript. Much of this information is accessed using the client-server model, which we have discussed in the business application. But there is different popular model for accessing information that goes by the name. So we have a client server model, and we also have peer-to-peer communication. So in peer-to-peer communication, in this form, individuals who form a loose group can communicate with others in the group. So this is the figure. Every person can in principle communicate with one or more people. There is no fixed division into clients and servers. So there is nothing called as clients and servers. They all are peers. So this is in a peer-to-peer system. There are no fixed clients and servers. See, everyone is interconnected to each other. Many peer-to-peer systems such BitTorrent do not have any central database. So it does not have, in a peer-to-peer communication system, they do not have a central database of a content. Instead, each user maintains his own database locally and provides a list of other nearby people who are members of the system. A new user can then go to an existing member to see what he has and get the name of other members to inspect for more content and more name. So you can do this. Now, we don't have to write this thing. Apart from that, do not peer-to-peer system do not have any central database of content. Instead, each user maintains his own database locally and provide a list of other nearby people who are members of the system. A new user can then go to an existing member to see what he has and get the names of other members to inspect for more content and more name. This lookup process can be repeated indefinitely to build a large local database of what is out there. It is an activity that would get tedious of people, but computers excel at it. Now, peer-to-peer communication is often used to share videos and music. It really hit the big time around 2000 with a music sharing service called the Napster. So these are certain examples of peer-to-peer communication. Now, all of the above applications involve interaction between a person and a remote database full of information. The second broad category of a network use is person-to-person communication. Basically, the 21st century's answer to the 19th century's telephone. Email is already used on a daily basis by millions of people all over the world, and its use is growing rapidly. Now, any teenager worth his or her salt is addicted to instant messaging. This facility derived from the Unisoc program in use since around 1970. Then we have Twitter, and other examples are also available. Now, between person-to-person communications and accessing information are social network applications. Here, the flow of information is driven by the relationships that people declare between each other. Again, we have certain example. Now, our third category is electronic commerce. In the broadest sense of the term, home shopping is already popular and enables user to inspect online catalogs of thousands of companies' home applications, right? After the customer buys a product electronically but cannot figure out how to use it, online technical support may be considered. So everything is online. Then we have the example, some form of e-commerce, business to consumer, business to business, government to consumer, consumer to consumer, peer to peer. We have different examples. Now, our fourth category is entertainment. Inside the home application, our fourth category is entertainment. This has made huge strides in the home in recent years with distribution of music, radio and television programs and movies over the internet beginning to rival that of traditional mechanism. Users can find, buy and download MP3 songs and DVD quality movies and add them to their personal collections. Now, another form of entertainment is game playing. Already we have multi-person real-time simulation games like hide and seek in a virtual dungeon and flight simulators. Now, our last category is ubiquitous computing, in which computing is embedded into everyday life. As in the vision of Marcus, many homes are already wired with security systems that include door and window sensors, and there are many more sensors that can be folded into a smart home monitor, such as energy consumption, your electricity, gas and water meter. They all use network. Increasingly, consumer electronic devices are networked. For example, some high-end cameras already have a wireless network capability and use it to send photos to a nearby display for viewing. Professional sports photographers can also send their photos to their editors in real time, first wirelessly to an access point, then over the internet. Devices such as television that plug into the wall can use the power line networks to send information throughout the house over the wires that carry electricity. Now, there is a technology called RFID, radio frequency identification, which will push this idea even further in the future. RFID tags are passive, that is, they have no batteries. Chips, passive chips, the size of stamps, and they can already be affixed to books, passports, pets, credit cards, and other items in the home and out. Now, this lets RFID readers locate and communicate with the items over a distance of up to several meters. So now for home application, what all comes under home application? Before, in the business application, we have client server connectivity, and in home application, we have internet access that provides connectivity. Then information available includes arts, business, cooking, so many things are there inside that. Now, beyond newspapers, we are having a peer-to-peer communication system in the home application. They do not have any central database of content. Instead, each user maintains his or her own database locally and provide a list of other nearby people who are members of the system. A new user can then go to an existing member to see what he has and gets the name of other members to inspect for more contents and more names. Now, peer-to-peer communication is often used to share music and videos. That is one. Then we have so many other applications. All of the above application involve interaction between a person and a remote database full of information. Then about instant messaging, like Facebook, Twitter. Then we have Wikipedia, like used as an encyclopedia. Then on the third, we have electronic commerce. That is a broader sense of the term. And home shopping is already popular and all those things. We can do home shopping and other things. Then our fourth category is entertainment, where IPTV, IP television has also been there. Then we have ubiquitous computing, in which computing is embedded into everyday life as in the vision of Mark Wiesen in 1991. Now, many homes are already wired with security system and like that. Then we have power line networks, and then we have another technology called RFID, radio frequency identification. That's it about home application. The next uses mobile uses, which we'll be discussing in the next video.